your girl Lauren here, and welcome back to another video. And for this video, we are commemorating the plants that went to plant heaven in 2020. I have been pretty scared to film this video because no plant parent is perfect, and honestly guys, the past 3 to 4 months have just been really stressful with life in general for me, and sadly enough, some of my plants have suffered. I learned so much as a human, as a plant parent during those 3 or 4 months of what was going on in my life. I have been reflecting on why these plants have died, and I'm gonna try to spin it and make it an entertaining video, of course, but also educational. So these are the plants that I killed in 2020. This video idea did come from you guys, and you guys helped me so much on my Instagram of what I should film. I had 4 to 5 different videos in mind, and with the help of you guys, I did some polls, and that was really helpful to see what content you guys like. So if you want to take part in that process for future videos and just see what I'm up to on a planty basis, go check out my Instagram, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get going to the video. Obviously, since these plants did perish, I don't have any of them with me except for one to show you guys. But kicking it off is my Alocasia Frydeck. This plant was one of the top 20 plants I received in my collection, and it did super well in my past apartment. My past apartment didn't have that good lighting, but with the setup that I had, it was thriving under the grow light bars, and it was right next to my humidifier. Ever since I moved into my new apartment, the only place that made sense for it to be in was at the very top shelf of my huge plant shelf that I had, and it wasn't getting as much humidity because my humidifier can only reach so high. Still, it was doing fine, but after a trip that I went to, it was just 3 to 4 days, but I think when the humidifier stopped running, because I don't have the means to have it on a humidifier, the environment, the atmosphere got dry, and when I came back, it had tons of spider mites. And I was really sad about this. I have told you guys before that for some reason I started falling out of love with alocasias. It was a beautiful plant before I left for my little trip with my boyfriend, and I was going just to sell it or just give it away. But when I saw how much spider mites it had, it was so bad. And it was so sad because it was doing so well. Like, I really had so much pride in that plant. I tried doing what I could, watching all the spider mite videos on YouTube, but that plant was just a goner and it went to plant heaven. But that is it for the first plant. Let's go on to the next one. The second plant is one that I do have. It perished just a few days ago, and it's an Antherium. And I said that this particular Antherium in the past was the chillest Antherium that I ever had, and I honestly have no idea what happened to it. I really don't. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. But it is my Antherium radicans. And that is this. This is the plant, and this is what is left of it. I know, super sad. I started noticing that there was something going on with this plant a couple of months ago. The color was still fine, but I slowly saw all of the leaves curl in. And I thought it was a problem due to underwatering. Underwatering is something that I have really been struggling with the past 3 to 4 months. Something that I am way more conscientious of now, more than ever, because I don't want to kill any more plants, obviously. So I started, checking on it a lot more, and it was on a good watering schedule, but then I saw it just tank. So I took the plant out of the pot and noticed that there were no roots, guys. There were no roots. It was extremely dry, and I don't know if you guys can see, there were no roots. And I got this plant from Plants and Pamperin, and I'll roll the footage. It did have a good root system. It wasn't amazing, but it definitely had roots. Of course, then I started looking at the soil, which is still here, and I was searching for mushy roots, everything, and I couldn't find anything, which just makes me so confused because usually if it's root rot, I'm able to see like the mushed roots, but unless everything just disintegrated, then I don't know what to say. My best guess is that maybe it was underwatering and then I overwatered it, like I said, but I can't find where the roots went. So if anyone knows what you think happened with this plant, please let me know. But the radicans was so easy. It really was, but that's the second plant. Sorry guys if the frame is different. I had to replace my battery, but if you see a difference, that is why. The next plant that I killed that I'm super sad about because I didn't have it for a long time was my Calathea rosiopicta. I got this, just maybe 5 months ago. I have to double check that. I got it from Tillery Street Plant Company with my best friend Naomi, and I picked this plant out and I thought that the colors were absolutely beautiful. It kind of looked holographic to me depending on how you placed it with the light, and I loved it. I think it perished due to a humidity issue because I only have one humidifier that is in my bedroom. That's where a lot of my tropical plants are if it's not in my greenhouse cabinet. But I put my Calathea dotty right here in this scene, and I thought that it being surrounded by all the different plants would still create a good bioclimate of humidity, but I guess not. I water with a moisture meter, guys, as an added just safety measure to make sure that my plants are doing well. I really don't think watering was the issue. Every time I would water it, it seemed fine, but I guess slowly but surely there were little changes in the plant that were so minute that I didn't notice in its appearance that one day it just shriveled up and brown and crunchy. And I was the saddest person because it was something that I didn't notice over time. Like I said, the appearance was so minute if it was unhappy, and then one day, bam, it just shriveled into nothing, like my heart when I saw how sad this plant was. As you can see, I've made this corner of my apartment a lot more plant friendly, a huge kind of plant oasis. And since there are more plants in here than I've had before, I am gonna put a humidifier probably like in the space on my dresser, so nothing like that happens again. But that Calathea was beautiful, and I pride myself on taking care of my Calatheas. That was a bummer, but you live and you learn, right? The fourth plant that I sadly killed in 2020 was a Philodendron Gloriosum, and this is a plant that I really want this year. The price isn't bad, and I just really want a huge heart-shaped, glorious, healthy Gloriosum to make up for the one that sadly perished. I think that the reason why this died was because of my lack of knowledge, unless the rooting wasn't good. Again, some footage will be rolling. I bought this plant, and this was my first plant I have ever bought on Facebook BST groups, and the seller did say that it was an unrooted philodendron cutting, and she was very upfront, so I'm not blaming the seller, and she said that the person that buys it, should have good experience on rooting cuttings. To me, I thought that I could easily do this. My confidence. Anyway, I thought I could do this because I have rooted various plants unrooted in sphagnum moss, in water, and just a mix of different mediums. And so I thought I had a good understanding of rooting. This plant would not root, and you guys saw it in my houseplant tour part 1 because it was in my bedroom of this plant. I first put this plant in sphagnum moss because a lot of my tropical aroids have been doing really well, and I tried that for 2 to 3 months, nothing. There was absolutely nothing, and then I transferred it to water. Same thing. I waited for like about 2 months. Same story. I transferred it back into moss and made sure that the moss was even more tightly packed, because maybe I thought that the moss before was a little loose and wasn't really connecting and adhering to the plant. But that didn't work either, and because of just mixing back and forth between water and moss and it just never rooting, I don't know if I was impatient enough. I thought 2.5 months was enough for me to see something. I never did, and it just died. It died. It didn't shrivel up and turn brown, it just lost its vibrant color. If there is a way I could have saved this plant, please let me know in the comments. I've never done perlite propagation. If that would have helped, let me know. Leave me some feedback. Tell me what steps I should take, so next time this happens, I am not going to kill a beautiful cutting. The last plant that I wanted to talk about that I killed was my variegated Hoya Carry Eye. I have gotten a lot better with Hoyas. I feel so much more confident about them now, especially living in my new apartment. A lot of them are just thriving. I think all of them are thriving, even though some of them grow faster than others. I have just gotten so much more comfortable with Hoyas, and I'm very proud of that. But for some reason, the subgenus of Carry Eyes just still don't like me. My first Carry Eye was my variegated one. My second one was my Carry Eye Splash, which I did give away to another plant member. It just wasn't growing, and I don't think Carry Eyes are for me. I know I shouldn't be releasing that energy into the universe because that's probably why it died, but I digress. I tried moving this plant in different areas of my home, under grow lights, outside in the shade, just everywhere you can imagine, giving it more humidity, less. I experimented with it so much, but then one day it just turned to mush. The leaves just dropped and they're mushy, and especially with those Carry Eye leaves, they just feel so hardy, so succulent, and I don't know. I really don't know. Again, if you are a Hoya Carry Eye expert, let me know. I have a lot here now that you can probably spot, and they're doing great. But if anyone has Carry Eye help, please let me know, because I'm lost. And I don't think I'll ever get a Hoya Carry Eye again. That's it for the video, guys. I did kill a few other plants, but they were all under the same kind of scope of reasons. I picked the ones that I did today because I felt they were the best examples of stories that I could provide to you guys. If I was a little all over the place with this video, I apologize. This was something that I know you guys wanted to see, but I was just scared to film. But I'm trying to remember that, I want to be authentic on my channel. I am not a plant expert. Plant parents make mistakes, and I just know now what I need to do in order to really take care of the babies that I do have. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. Again, if you have any tips and tricks on the plants that I killed, please help a girl out in the comments. The next video that I'll probably film is my favorite plants, the most sentimental plants to me, and I hope you guys are very excited. If you are, subscribe and hit the notification bell like I said so you don't miss my videos, and that is it. I will see you guys in the next one.